And so what do you think Harry and Meghan are weighing up?
Well, they're weighing up how they can always promote themselves.
I think they've got to come, though.
Well, they haven't got to come, because if they're put in row 54 behind a column, they won't come, and that's exactly what should happen.
It wasn't a headline, a leaked text, or a paparazzi photo. It was, according to multiple sources, something far more dangerous. A set of recordings quietly nicknamed the Bower tapes. No one has seen them, no one has publicly confirmed their contents. Yet, the very suggestion that Tom Bower has them has sent shockwaves through the Sussex world.
They have demeaned it by saying that it's all Empire Stroke 2 and the Netflix thing. But of course, the greatest damage which the Sussexes have done to the Commonwealth is their accusation of racism. The royal family is racist, which he then peddled back on Harry because he knew it was untrue. It was one of Meghan's many lies. And that is really what's so awful. And that's why Charles...
These aren't random snippets caught on a cell phone mic. Word is, they're crystal clear, private conversations. Moments Meghan and Harry never expected anyone outside their inner circle to hear. And if the whispers are true, those conversations don't just rattle their public image, they crack the very foundation of the brand they've spent years building. Reports suggest the audio allegedly shows Meghan in her most unfiltered state, not the polished, compassionate figure from staged interviews, but a version that sounds more strategic, more calculating. It's not just about tone, it's about intent. Sources claim she's heard discussing media plays with the precision of a PR general, plotting how to steer narratives before they even break. For some celebrities, that would be business as usual, but for Meghan, whose public persona leans heavily on authenticity and raw emotion, it's a dangerous contradiction. And if the recordings include Harry chiming in, which insiders say they do, then the stakes instantly double.
Do you think Charles was hoping that Harry and Meghan would say, oh, you know what, we actually don't want the title?
Well, I think this is a very sad indication of King Charles's weakness. He should have signed the letters which prevented them taking the titles. And just in the same way that he can't decide, really, whether Harry should come.
In an age where audiences trust what they hear over any carefully worded denial, the couple's credibility could shatter in seconds. But what's pushing this from scandal to potential crisis is one alleged detail competitors barely touched: the children. According to palace-adjacent insiders, some of the most sensitive material involves remarks, possibly flippant, possibly logistical, about Archie and Lilibet. The royal code is clear. Children are off limits. Even the most aggressive tabloids know better than to cross that line. And yet, word is, these recordings may cross it in a way that's making even the palace privately panic. Not because it's illegal, not even because it's overtly damning, but because perception is everything. The mere suggestion that Meghan and Harry speak differently about their children in private than they do in public could spark outrage that no amount of spin can contain.
Well, and what's going to happen there? Because what has really annoyed me over the past couple of weeks is Harry and Meghan yet again are treating the coronation as if this is some sort of reality show, some sort of game. Oh, we've received our email invitation now, but we're not going to reveal whether we're coming or not. It's so transparent that they want to make it all about them.
As for Tom Bower, he said nothing. No teases, no clarifications, just silence, the kind that feels deliberate. Those who've followed his career know he doesn't bluff. If he has the tapes, he'll use them. And while Harry is reportedly scrambling to find out how they were made, when it happened, and who betrayed their trust, Meghan's playing a different game: damage control. According to industry sources, she's already in talks with crisis PR teams, sponsors, and media partners to assess exposure. In other words, she's bracing for impact, without knowing exactly when or if the hit will land. According to multiple sources close to the Sussex circle, the first 48 hours after the whispers of the Bower tapes hit were pure chaos. Harry, who has always described himself as hyper-aware of betrayal, was reportedly in what one insider called full interrogation mode, calling old friends, staff, even distant acquaintances to ask where and when such recordings could have been made. The thought that someone with access to their private space could have been quietly capturing conversations has hit him harder than any tabloid headline.
The Buckingham Palace is failing because they shouldn't allow them to get away with it. After all, they weren't even invited to Elton John's party yesterday at the Oscars.
Really?
Or
the Oscar ceremony itself.
I mean, they really are, nobody is in Hollywood, but somehow King Charles is going to make them somebody in London, the most important event of his life. And of course, that is the problem. He's not...
It's not paranoia if the danger is real. And in this case, reports suggest he has good reason to believe it is. Meghan's response, however, has been markedly different. While Harry paces, she's reportedly on the phone with lawyers, PR strategists, and brand executives. The timing couldn't be worse. Several major partnerships, some in early contract stages, now hang in limbo. No one likes uncertainty, an industry insider told us, especially not when it involves potential PR explosions. One entertainment brand allegedly postponed their campaign launch with Meghan after learning of the tapes, calling it a pause for optics. That's the polite way of saying they don't want to risk associating with a potential media wildfire.
If they know we're going to be embarrassed by our seating position, about our access to official events, they might decide not.
The leaks from the palace are all they've had the invitation and we're going to put them into Iceland. What they should do is they're invited but they're going to be humiliated. And that's really... Because this week was very interesting how the Sussex news machine has been gurgitating.
For someone who's spent years positioning herself as the face of integrity and empowerment, just the rumor of such recordings chips away at that image. Meanwhile, palace insiders are said to be quietly gaming out their own moves. Officially, Buckingham Palace won't touch the story. Silence is their tried and true strategy. But behind closed doors, advisors are reportedly compiling contingency statements in case the tapes contain unflattering mentions of senior royals. The fact that these conversations are happening at all signals just how seriously they're taking the threat. One royal watcher put it bluntly, "The monarchy's greatest strength is control. If someone like Tom Bower can make them react, that's already a win for him." Fueling the tension are the alleged details about the tape's origin. Several sources claim they weren't the result of a clumsy accident, like a hot mic left running. Instead, the theory gaining traction is that someone deliberately recorded them, someone with enough trust to be physically close, but enough motive to pass the material on.
Harry's misinformation commission report, which went into the dustbin. Then she's going to launch the TIG. Yeah. Then they say the royals were invited to the baptism ceremony. It was interesting that no one else knew about that. Everything is a constant drip now. And then, of course, what was really important was that photograph of Meghan the day after.
That possibility has led to frantic speculation within Harry and Meghan's inner circle. Who would risk everything to hand over such explosive content? Was it a former staff member, a guest in their home, or, as one source speculated, someone from the production crew during their past media projects who held onto private moments never intended for broadcast? Each unanswered question only feeds the frenzy. And while Harry and Meghan remain publicly silent, their absence from the narrative is being filled by pundits, royal biographers, and armchair analysts eager to dissect every possible angle. The longer they wait, the more the story grows, and the more dangerous the potential release becomes. The heart of the storm, according to multiple insiders, isn't just that the Bower tapes exist, it's what they allegedly contain. Early whispers suggest that the most damaging segments aren't the casual remarks or throwaway lines, but carefully worded conversations that sound, in one source's words, like strategy sessions for controlling the narrative. Reports claim Meghan can be heard mapping out how to respond to potential negative press before it even breaks, including rehearsing sound bites for future interviews. That alone wouldn't be unusual for a public figure, but for someone whose brand hinges on authenticity, hearing that process stripped bare could be fatal to public trust. And then there's Harry. Insiders allege that certain clips catch him weighing in on past royal family disputes in ways that could directly contradict his televised interviews. It's one thing to claim you've been misrepresented by the media, it's another for your own voice to tell a different story entirely. Several industry analysts have already predicted that if even a fraction of these conversations are released, it could spark a credibility crisis not just in the press, but with the couple's core supporters. Fans can forgive mistakes, one PR expert told us, but they struggle to forgive feeling misled. The alleged remarks about the children remain the most sensitive and potentially explosive element. According to palace-connected sources, these are not scandalous in a legal sense, but they are reportedly framed in a way that feels cold, transactional, like moving pieces in a larger PR chess game. Even if taken out of context, such comments could inflame public opinion, particularly among parents and family-focused audiences. Royal commentators point out that the Sussexes have fiercely guarded their children's privacy, making any suggestion of private indifference, whether accurate or not, a devastating blow to their image. Meanwhile, the media scramble to secure the tapes has reached fever pitch. Reports say at least 3 major outlets have quietly approached intermediaries with 6-figure offers for short excerpts. The competitive pressure is so intense that one UK network allegedly sent a representative to Los Angeles to track down potential sources. Tom Bower himself remains tight-lipped, But those familiar with his style believe this is deliberate. The longer the suspense, the higher the public interest when the story breaks. And if the tapes are part of a forthcoming book or documentary project, the stakes could escalate beyond a news cycle into a cultural moment. Within this atmosphere, both supporters and critics are mobilizing online. Pro-Sussex accounts are dismissing the claims as fabrication or AI manipulation, while detractors are treating the mere rumor as proof of hypocrisy. The battle lines are drawn, and all it may take is a single verified clip to tip the entire narrative. Inside Buckingham Palace, the tone is reportedly shifting from quiet concern to full-scale contingency planning. While the official public line remains silent, insiders claim that senior advisors have held multiple closed-door sessions mapping out potential responses to every possible scenario. They're not just thinking about Harry and Meghan, one palace contact told us. They're thinking about collateral damage. Who else gets pulled into the fallout if these tapes are real? In royal terms, that means every name mentioned, every offhand remark, could become its own headline. For Harry and Meghan, the strategy is more fragmented. According to sources close to the couple, Harry is pushing for aggressive legal action to stop any release, while Meghan is said to be weighing the benefits of a preemptive media counteroffensive. One idea reportedly floated by her crisis PR team involves sitting down with a sympathetic interviewer to clarify the context before the tapes surface. But even among her advisors, there's division. Some believe going public early could backfire by validating the rumors. Adding to the tension, reports suggest the couple's lawyers have already sent formal inquiries to at least 2 media outlets believed to be negotiating for access to the recordings. The legal language, described by one source as firm but not threatening, appears designed to signal readiness for a fight without escalating prematurely. The problem, experts say, is that if Bauer obtained the tapes legally, or if they're protected under journalistic privilege, there may be little the Sussexes can do to stop them. Meanwhile, Tom Bauer's silence is becoming its own story. His refusal to comment has fueled speculation that he's preparing something larger than a one-off leak. Industry chatter suggests the tapes could be a centerpiece of an upcoming exposé, possibly timed to coincide with a major royal event for maximum impact. Bauer knows the value of timing, a veteran journalist explained. If he's sitting on something this big, he's not going to waste it on a random Tuesday. Social media is treating the saga like a countdown clock. Every day, without confirmation, new theories sprout. Some claim the tapes are already in multiple hands, others insist they're an elaborate hoax designed to destabilize the Sussex brand. AI voice analysis videos are circulating, with armchair sleuths debating authenticity down to the millisecond. The noise is deafening, and in that noise, the actual truth becomes harder to discern. What's clear is that both the palace and the Sussexes are in unfamiliar territory. This isn't a tabloid rumor they can ignore into irrelevance. If the Bauer tapes are real, their release could redefine not only Meghan and Harry's relationship with the public, but also the fragile balance between the monarchy and its most high-profile outcasts. And the longer the tapes stay in the shadows, the more dangerous the eventual reveal becomes. The longer the silence lasts, the more the damage becomes self-sustaining. According to multiple reports, at least 2 of Meghan's upcoming brand collaborations have already been deprioritized. Industry speak for quietly stepping back. One high-profile sponsor allegedly pushed back a planned campaign launch by 6 months, citing the need for stability in public perception. For a public figure whose influence is directly tied to brand confidence, that's not just a delay, it's a signal that her business viability is at risk. Harry, meanwhile, is said to be feeling the pressure in a more personal way. Sources close to him describe late-night calls with trusted friends in the UK, conversations laced with frustration and disbelief. For a man who has spent years framing his life around controlling his own story, the idea that someone could be holding hours of unguarded dialogue over his head is a new and deeply unsettling reality. It's not just about the content, it's about control, and right now, he has none. Inside the palace, there's quiet acknowledgement that if the Bauer tapes contain references to senior royals, the scandal could shift from being a Sussex problem to a Windsor problem. Contingency statements are reportedly drafted and filed away, each tailored to a different potential bombshell. You don't want to be caught scrambling once it's out, one insider told us. By the time the public hears it, the palace needs to be ready with a response or ready to say nothing at all. And still, Tom Bauer remains silent. No press releases, no strategic leaks, no public denials. Just that calm, calculated stillness that suggests he knows exactly what he's holding and exactly when he plans to play it. Industry observers say this patience is what makes Bauer so dangerous. He lets the speculation do the work, building tension until the release becomes an event in itself. The real danger now is that the Sussexes' silence, intended as a legal and PR safeguard, is creating a vacuum. And in the age of social media, vacuums get filled with rumors, with AI-generated fakes, with misquotes pulled from past interviews and reframed as proof. The result is a public conversation that moves further from the truth with each passing day. Whether the Bauer tapes ever surface almost becomes secondary. The belief that they exist is already reshaping how Harry and Meghan are perceived. If the tapes do drop, the fallout will be swift. Brand deals will vanish, palace tensions will spike, and the media will scramble for every scrap of context. If they never drop, the rumor will linger, a permanent shadow over the Sussex narrative. Either way, the damage is done. And the question now is whether Harry and Meghan can find a way to seize back control of their story before it slips away for good. That's the latest on the alleged Bauer tapes shaking the royal world. What do you think? Are they real, or just the perfect storm of rumor and timing? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit like if this caught you off guard, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the biggest celebrity scandals. Click here for another story that will have you questioning everything.